Hello and welcome back to this After Effects tutorial. Last episode we created a text box that changes depending on how long the name is, right? So I'm just spamming letters there, but you see it got longer. So if you don't know how to do that, go and check out the previous video. You'll see exactly how it was done. But if you do know how to do that and you've done that already, let's crack on and we'll do some more. So what I want to do is, I mentioned in the last episode about the essential graphics, which is used to link between Premiere and After Effects. So let's put in person's name again. And what I want to do is I want these to come up in here, so I can type in the essential graphics, and that will change the name. So that's really simple. Once you've got the essential graphics, and if you didn't know where the essential graphics tab is, go to Window and then to Essential Graphics, which is here. Yep, and you just click that. So I've turned it off now, but I'll bring it back. There we go. And you might have to choose what composition you're using and give it a name, but then it's all there. What I'm then going to do is go into text. I'm going to grab this source text, literally just grab it, drag it into there. Okay, I'm going to change this to name. And now it's already come up with person's name, which is what we typed in. But if I now change this to my name, Tom Mason, it's automatically going to do it for us. That is how Essential Graphics works. This is obviously the very basics, but we're going to keep on going. We're going to keep on building this into something incredible. So, that's that. Now, I also mentioned in the last episode that I got the name wrong, and at some point this composition is going to change. That moment is now. What I'm going to do is I'm going to select both the text and the name box. I'm going to right click. I'm going to pre-compose them into something I'm going to call name field. Okay. Now that's completely broken it, and the box is completely screwed up and it doesn't work. But we can salvage it. We can get that back. Now, all of those expressions are within the name box. So let's go in. Now the one that's broken it is the size. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into here, and this composition, I'm going to change that word to name field. And there we go. That is it fixed. So what you need to make sure is that the expression, sometimes it will come up with like something's gone wrong. You can click it and it will sort of give you the idea of what's gone wrong, but sometimes it's a bit tricky to work out what it is. Now, the thing with expressions is they can be quite daunting. If you've never done any coding or any like computer science things before, then they look a little bit weird and you've got no idea what's going on. But it is actually straightforward. It takes a while to get used to. So what you have is variables. This is x. It's a variable. X is going to change at some point in the future, depending on things. We've got a composition. This is the name of the composition. Then we have a dot layer. That's going inside the composition. So inside this composition, we're looking for a layer called text. Great. Well, that's this layer. And within that layer, we're going to do this command called source rect at time, and that's just going to look for the size of the text, right? And then we're looking specifically at the width of that text, and we're going to add on a little bit, right? So now we've got a variable, we've got this x, and then we just have another command saying, well, if x is a certain value, do something, and else, if it's any other value, do something else. And that is pretty much how all expressions work. They can get super complicated. You can have way more things going on than that, but that's pretty much it. You start with an x, you do something to it, and you output something else, or you output that x doing something. Okay. Same with this, and we don't actually see an x because what we're doing here is this is just basically mimicking this and saying whatever this is, divide it by 2, and that's where our position is going to be. Okay. It's just like setting it for you. It's still got this x and if and things like that, but it's doing it behind the scenes. That's all I have to say on this episode, really. That was just like a really quick episode of what expressions are, how they work. We will get into expressions way more over the course of this video series, but don't worry. I will explain everything as we go along. But that is just a quick insight into expressions. You have values that you want to change, you change them, and then you output something else. And that is literally it. There's loads online. There's so many tutorials and so many things online. I'm not going to go over like every expression because it's ridiculous how many expressions there are, right? There's like random numbers, there's vectors that you can do. You can even put JavaScript in here, like actual like mathematics and things like that. There's like so many different like expressions and effects and things like that. I'm going to be keeping them really simple. There's only about like 3 or 4 expressions in this whole tutorial series, so don't worry too much. But that is just a video on expressions and how they work and what you can do with them. So yeah, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.